Honor guard, attention! Right, face! Forward, march! Present arms. Post colors. Order arms.
Please remove your hats for the national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Please keep your hats removed for our prisoner of war ceremony. Travis?
POW or MIA empty chair is placed today. As a physical symbol of the thousands of American POWs and MIAs still unaccounted for from all wars and conflicts involving the United States of America. This is a reminder for all of us to spare no effort to secure the release of any American prisoners from captivity, the repatriation of the remains of those who died bravely in defense of liberty, and full accounting of those missing. Let us rededicate ourselves for this vital endeavor. Prepare to post the flag. Post flag.
Well, good morning and welcome.
Eddie.
The 10th annual launch of the Patriot Tour has officially started. 10 years. How many have been for all 10 years? That's right. Remember 10 years ago it was a lot like this, except we had a lot less people and a lot less money raised in the first year. Each and every year it gets higher and higher, and it's all because of people like you. But you know, as we all spread the message and say we're going to participate in the Nation of Patriots and the Patriot Tour, there's always that question, well, what is that? So let me kind of try to fill you in. The Nation of Patriots is an organization that's an all-volunteer force that mobilizes thousands of people every year to come together in support of our nation's disabled veterans and their families. Here's the key part. 100% of every dollar raised goes to the veterans and their families, supporting these struggling military families. In our 10-year history, this organization has raised and donated over $900,000 to 360 families across the United States. Our vast network of over 125 local representatives and 14 regional representatives work directly with VA hospitals, American Legions, VFWs, and several other veteran organizations to directly connect with the veterans we strive to support. We send checks made out to utility companies, mortgage lenders, landlords, and other creditors directly to the veterans so that they can catch up on bills, buy food and clothing for their families. We've helped veterans buy school supplies, fix cars so they can get to work, pay off burdensome debt, start savings accounts, start college funds for their kids, and even put presents under the tree at Christmas time. All to help them find cheer during the holidays. We've seen and helped veterans out of some very painful situations. The Nation of Patriots has helped to bring in and keep entire families off of the streets. In 2018, we were connected with a family of 5 who, upon returning from the VA hospital, where the veteran was receiving life-saving medical care, They had found that they had been evicted and all of their belongings sitting out on a curb, in the pouring rain, mind you. There was no family to help and not enough money to relocate. We stepped in and put the family up in a hotel and partnered with a national moving company to help them collect and store their belongings. This all happens during Christmas time. We asked the mom for the kids' Christmas lists and went shopping online for the kids so that Christmas could still enjoy the holidays and save Christmas. We worked with 2 veterans who were in physically abusive relationships and found themselves in difficult positions where they could not afford to escape. The Nation of Patriots relocated each of these individuals to safer locations where they are near family and community support. These stories, and over 360 more and counting each and every day, are possible because of the support of thousands of Americans from all 50 states, just like everybody standing here. People that believe in this country, people who stand behind those in service. We are also the people who respect the colors of the flag and all that they stand for. A pure example of one of these people was a Beaver Dam citizen and a very near dear friend of us, and a fellow patriot. Our friend Butch Paczynski, unfortunately, has passed away, but he was there 10 years ago, and each and every year helping behind the scenes, doing whatever it took, riding with the flag, donating, again, completely behind the scenes and without seeking thanks. And as I mentioned, unfortunately, Butch passed away several weeks ago after a courageous battle with cancer. But shortly before his passing, he was still thinking about the Nation of Patriots and requested that his memorials be donated to this cause. As of today, the Nation of Patriots has received a hell of a jump start for this year of over $6,400 in the memory of Butch Paczynski. We're humbled by Butch and his family's many years of supporting this organization and this mission. While we're devastated by his passing, we celebrate the man that Butch was and the legacy that he leaves behind. We know that Butch is here with us today, because it isn't raining, as we embark on the 10th anniversary of the Patriot Tour. And we're going to be sure to leave a spot right up front for him to escort that flag as we take Old Glory down to Fenimore. So remember, it's up to all of us, each and every one of us. Please give what you can, be it $5 or $5,000. Invite your friends, families, neighbors, co-workers. Ask them to donate and tell the story of this one great nation of patriots, and ultimately the brave men and women who serve. Together, we can reach and exceed our goals. Together, we can make that difference. That difference in the lives of those who step up so bravely and said yes when the country called. They deserve our honor, our financial support, and way so much more. Thank you for attending today. God bless you and your families. God bless our troops, and God bless America. Just going to remind you one more time about that grand salute. Let's not forget to do that. There's plenty of dirt on these buildings. At this time, I would like to introduce the Mayor of Beaver Dam, Becky Gluen.
Thank you, Brad. Good morning. Good morning. Just a couple of announcements and talking about, you may have seen some of the American Legion women walking around there. They have poppies with them, and that's a great reminder as well of our veterans they'll be collecting over the next upcoming weekend. So if you can support them as well. They're celebrating their 100th year this coming fall, so we're very excited to support that as well. Also, just excited to, again, start here in Beaver Dam and add to our collection of Old Glory coming back to our community after crossing the states. I want to thank everyone for coming today, for showing overwhelming support of this great mission of the Nation of Patriots and the Patriot Tour. And yeah, year 10, it's amazing, and it's great to see you all. Year 10. It didn't start out this way, from what I take. Didn't quite look this organized, not as many people here, wasn't as well attended, not as much money raised. It started with one person, a vision, Bill Shire, with a passion. Yep. One on a bike with big dreams to collect funds for wounded veterans. One person and a small group of supporters who wanted to help others. So in 2009, he had this big goal. He was going to raise $1 million that first year. And he went out to cover the continental U.S., didn't quite make it, came back with $2,100. Yeah. He didn't take it as a loss. He came back, he didn't quit. He started again, got more support. In 2010, on year 2, he raised $7,500. And as you know, and you heard from Brad in talking about last year, collected in 1 year, in 2018, $250,000. And the expectation to reach a cumulative total of $1 million this coming year, of course. And just want to thank him. Raised to disperse and care for our esteemed veterans under the colors of our flag. Bill and his small group of supporters didn't stop in defeat. They decided to take action. I'd like to share several quotes from President Theodore Roosevelt with you today. And in his words, "Rhetoric is a poor substitute for action, and we have trusted only to rhetoric. If we are really to be a great nation, we must not merely talk, we must take action and act big." All the individuals that have gotten involved in the past 10 years stopped talking and made big actually happen. And isn't this the most worthwhile cause? To care for those that have risked everything to give us freedom. And we have nothing without our freedom. For again, as Teddy Roosevelt shared, a man who is good enough to shed his blood for the country is good enough to be given a square deal afterwards. Having grown up in a very patriotic family, I deeply appreciate the sacrifice that others have given for me, which includes my niece currently serving aboard the USS Kearsarge, which is stationed somewhere in the Middle East. With less than 0.5% of the US population serving in our volunteer forces today, we all owe them our gratitude. The commitment military personnel and families devote to our nation is truly amazing, for you and for me. Thank you to all those individuals that currently serve, and to those that have served, and to their loved ones. They take action, they go big, they protect us every day. They pick the tough battles and make us proud. We also thank Bill and others that realize the importance of highlighting the sacrifice our veterans have made for each and every one of us, reminding us to take time to respect and honor our veterans and give them a square deal after. I'd like to leave you with one last quote from President Roosevelt. I think this speaks to both our veterans and those that have given of themselves to make the Patriot Tour happen. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbled or where the doer of deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes up short again and again, who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst at least fails while daring greatly, so that this place shall never be with those timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat. Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to introduce Sarah Botham for a reading.
So a few nights ago, I get this text from Bill. Sarah, you know that idea you had for someone to speak to the crowd and fire them up and share a little inspiration? You. Okay, Bill, no problem. So, here I am. And I've been tasked with sharing some thoughts and inspiration for the work we do and the journey we're about to embark upon. While I have no military experience of my own to draw upon, my father was Army Air Corps. He was a pilot and flight engineer during the Second World War, flew missions in Europe and Africa. He spoke little of his time serving there, but he did instill in each of us a strong sense of duty and a charge to serve as best we can. That said, I'm drawn to the words of others to share that inspiration with you today. And I share a few of their thoughts with you now. Quote, "Because all of us believe in and understand the fabric of the common bond, the reason we call ourselves American is to support and care for the men and women who wear the uniform. And when they take off that uniform, we must support and care for them as veterans." Steve Byer. Quote, "The valor and courage of our young women and men in the military are a shining example to the world, and we owe them and their families our deepest respect." Bill Frist. Quote, "The soldier, above all others, prays for peace. For it is the soldier who must suffer and bear the deepest wounds and scars of war." General Douglas MacArthur. Quote, "The U.S. military is us. There is no truer representation of a country than the people it sends in to fight for it. The people who wear our uniform and carry our rifles into combat are our children. Our job is to support them. They protect us." Tom Clancy. And finally, a letter. This was written during the Civil War. As the mother, I don't do this well, as the mother of an only son, I shudder imagining the grief of losing him. Even in such a noble way. The loss for this brave mother must have been nearly intolerable. I do hope that she and others after her have found some comfort in these words. The letter is addressed to Mrs. Lydia Parker Bixby of Boston, Massachusetts. It's written in the Executive Mansion in Washington and dated November 21st of 1864. Dear Madam, I have been shown in the files of the War Department a statement of the Adjutant General of Massachusetts that you are the mother of 5 sons who have died gloriously on the field of battle. I feel how weak and fruitless must be any words of mine which could attempt to beguile you, the grief and loss so overwhelming. But I cannot refrain from tendering to you the consolation that may be found in the thanks of a republic that they died to save. I pray our Heavenly Father may assuage you the anguish of your bereavement and leave you only the cherished memory of the loved and lost, and the solemn pride that you must feel to have laid so costly a sacrifice upon the altar of freedom. Yours very sincerely and respectfully, Abraham Lincoln. Ride with a purpose, friends. Ride safely. Ride comfortable in the embrace that you ride free. Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to introduce the founder and executive director of the Nation of Patriots, Mr. Bill Scheer.
Good morning. How are you? I said, good morning. All right. There's a lot of people to thank. We've been at this a long time, like all the speakers have said. It would take me probably the rest of the Patriot Tour to get through that long list. So I'm going to start at the very top. There's a company out there that has helped us for years and years and years. They do so very, very gracefully and behind the scenes. I always want to say thank you. We want to do more and more and more, and they always bow and say, nope, just keep doing what you're doing, keep helping the veterans. That company and our premier sponsor is Skag Power Equipment. If you heard of them, give them a round of applause. That is not a shameful plug. That is a very, very generous plug. And we're very happy to have them. I want to thank the city, the mayor, the police, the fire, everybody involved in closing down this street. It's actually a lot of work. The folks that were here early setting up, we really appreciate it. We couldn't get in or out of this town without all their help. So thank you, Beaver Dam. All the organizers, all the stuff you see here, from the cord here and the stakes to the cones, to the flags, the stage, everything you see, this is a small army of people that are putting this thing together, and we couldn't do it without them. This group setting this up here, the organizers around the country, my hat's off to you. Thank you so much, and I look forward to a whole bunch more years working with you. There's a little bar down the street called Hogs and Honeys. Have you heard of that? That has been our kind of forward operating base for countless years now, about 6 maybe? About 6 years. So thank you to Hogs and Honeys for allowing us to come in, have our meetings, have a drink or two once in a while. It's been a pleasure. We look forward to many more years. Local Lieben, I think you see Jim running around here taking pictures. He's kind of our picture guy. There he is, Jim. Round of applause for you, Jim. Do good work. And you just met Sarah Botham. She's our marketing and PR muscle, and her team is here doing a heck of a job helping us do things on social media that we don't know how to do. Reach out to those millennials out there. Get some kids involved. They help us spread the word, and we look to all of you to help us spread the word. And everybody else that I just can't get to at the moment, thank you all so much. So here we are. We're at the 2019 Patriot Tour. And as we embark on this tour, I want you to kind of picture what's going on and what has been planned for the last months and months and months. We have 110 other locations out there that are doing the same thing or about to be doing the same thing. Hours and hours of planning. Text messages, phone calls, emails, a couple of disputes here and there. All of this gearing up for this one day to embark on this giant mission for this one single cause. Thousands and thousands of people just like you, and Beaver Dam is at the very epicenter of it. I think that's pretty cool. "10 years we've been doing this. 10 years. I wrote a speech all about 10 years. It's just a bunch of words, though. They don't mean a whole lot, and they certainly don't describe what's in my heart right now. I kind of wondered what I was going to do when I got to this point, and all I can say is that my heart is filled with pride. I'm proud of this organization. I'm proud of the people involved. I'm proud of what we've accomplished, and I'm proud of all of you. You believed in us. You got us to this point. You believe in our mission, you believe in our country, and you believe in those who stand to fight for it. That's pretty special. And like most organizations, most good organizations that make it this far, they do have a rocky beginning. There are little challenges here and there from the beginning, and I could talk about the challenges that we ran into, but today, right here, right now on this stage, all I can selfishly reflect on is all the people that told us no. Friends, colleagues, business people, sponsors, they all said that this was a foolish idea, that this couldn't work. I remember specifically a gentleman, told me that this country's broken. What are you doing? This is going to be a flash in the pan. What a waste of time. They said we could never raise a whole lot of money doing this whole thing. They said that volunteers across the nation could never unite. None of they are here today. And I wish they were, because I'd get the selfish opportunity to look them in the eye and say, you were wrong. Not only did we manage to do this 1 year, we managed to do it 10. Not only did we manage to stitch together a whole nation of people that are proud as hell to get up and do what it is you're doing today, to organize events like this all over the country, we did it without a payroll. We proved in 10 years that it's not money that motivates. It's this. It's what that means. They say this country's broken. It's not. You just got to know where to look. You got to know how to ask. And we've been learning the hard way for 10 years how to ask people to unite. Everybody believes in the troops. Everybody believes in the cause. But to get people together like this, you need heart, you need strength, and you need passion. And you got it. And I can't thank you enough. They said we couldn't raise money. Well, like you heard, last year in 2017 and 18, we managed to raise $250,000. That's $500,000 in 2 years. Over the course of our entire history, we're about to hit a landmark that I dreamed was possible. But as I started to realize the challenges of raising money as a philanthropist, it's not that easy. But we're about to hit a landmark. We're going to raise and donate over $1 million this year if we play our cards right. And I wish I could tell them how it is that we do this. It's pretty simple. At the beginning of this organization, we forged a constitution. It's based on 3 simple concepts. We keep it simple, we keep it transparent, and we keep it voluntary. It's got to be simple. We have one cause, we have one mission, and that's what we do. That's why we exist. Nothing more, nothing less. We keep it transparent because this whole thing is built on trust. We thrive and we exist on your trust. Anything less than transparency loses your trust, and at that point, this whole thing falls apart. We keep ourselves volunteers because none of us are better than the rest, and there's not a pay system that makes me better than anybody else or our CFO better than anybody else. We are all volunteers, and at the end of the day, I get to look anybody that gives us a donation in the eye and say, every single dollar that you've just given me is going to find its way to a disabled veteran who's struggling to feed his or her family, and that money's going to help them. 3 simple concepts have fueled this thing for 10 years, and it gives us the confidence for another 10 years. And yes, Mayor, it did start with me. And then it grew to about 5 people, and then to 10 people. And now we have a crowd of 50 people, and there's tens of thousands of people around the country. Today we don't ride as people, we don't ride as individuals, we don't ride as an organization, we ride as a nation of patriots. And I'm honored to have you by my side. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. So much for that speech. So let's get the show on the road, shall we? So here comes the part of the Patriot Tour. How many people are familiar with the Patriot Tour? I didn't get to see. All right, so a lot of you. So what happens here is every time the flag goes to another location, and when it starts and stops, there's an oath and a pledge that's read between the 2 flag bearers. This has been read every single year, 100 to 110 times a year. We have this year 111 flag bearers across the country that are ready and waiting to take responsibility of this flag. Last year, we retired the flag to our mayor. So she is the existing flag bearer and representation of the flag from last year, and she is going to read this pledge to our new and selected flag bearer, our lead flag bearer for 2019, Cindy Schmittinger. Let's give her a round of applause. Come on up here.
The Bearer's Pledge. Rider, I am a flag bearer. I am one of a few who have proudly carried this flag. My mission is complete and I stand relieved. As the next in line, it's with great honor that I present to you the American flag. To accept this flag is to accept great responsibility. You will act on behalf of your fellow Americans and represent all that is embodied within the colors of our flag. You represent our collective past, present, and our future. You will carry this flag in honor of our nation's veterans, the enlisted, their families, and most importantly, your actions represent the memory and the valor of those who sacrificed their lives protecting this nation. Do you, rider, accept this flag, this responsibility, and swear to uphold your duties until you are relieved? I do. Then I bestow to you the American flag and officially deem you to be a flag bearer. Ride for honor, for country, and for those who protect it all. Godspeed, flag bearer.
Honor guard, let's take present arms. Order, arms. Flag bearer, fall in. Honor guard, right face. Forward, march!
Okay, as the flag makes its way to her bike, let's remember that grand salute once again. Cindy will raise that flag in the air. We want a moment of silence. When she slams it to the ground, that's when we give a whoop and we fire up our engines.
Okay.
Everybody ride safe, ride smart, and we'll see you in Fenimore.
Reset!